So this is our podcast pitch for our coming podcast, Anima, by me, Imogen O'Callaghan.
Eva Calero.
Chelsea Kelly.
Kyson.
Anima is what we're calling our pitch. Will be a production focused on anime and animation, with also a focus on film, in which we gave ourselves a bunch of questions that we will answer live on air. The questions are: what movies has the most powerful message? What movie has the best story or plot? Best media characters and why? Well, we all don't know why. What studio company makes the best films? Best animated movie, actors including them, working condition of filmmakers and animators, most important part of the movie, series, what genre is the best, would it inspire you to work with animation, options in indie animation, freestyle and all that. What advice would you give to a new animator? What advice?
It was actress or actor, sorry.
Oh, just me. Oh.
Yeah.
We delegated the questions and gave ourselves stuff to research. This was divided as to the right, with blue being Ava, yellow being me, pink being Imogen, and Chelsea not picking any due to her different role.
I would just like to note that all our research is all on our individual PowerPoints, not on this one, so we do have our own individual research on this. We aim to pre-plan book rooms and equipment and give time to make notes and stuff, which shouldn't take too long, but no one else, I'm not going to rush anyone. Design logo and branding and identity for the animation A1, so we have nothing yet. We're going to do all like the color schemes and stuff through the animation A1, not through this one, because it helps consolidate work nicely. And we're going to edit using DaVinci in the Adobe Suite and post that using royalty-free music and sounds from things like Pixabay. Next slide, please.
So the writing will be semi-scripted, as me and Ava, as co-hosts, will be given the questions that were on the previous slides to answer. So we'll be giving our honest opinion rather than reading from a script. Editing will be done by Chelsea. Audio engineering will be done by Ava. She will also be selecting different music from sites like Pixabay, which are royalty free, and Kai, as our producer, in theory would be in control of the budget. Speaking of which, is our next slide.
It's taken from my slides, but basically because we don't really need to pay for a room, do we? Because it's all in college. I didn't know if we were going to be in free paying for the room or not. So I believe I'll just pay for the cost for the equipment. And they know how much we're going to get in terms of income, so I just have it blank as well. A lot of this stuff was very vague when it came to the budget and stuff. Next slide.
So we all did our own individual research to prepare ourselves for if we were the co-hosts who answer these questions. So to summarise, my research was mostly centred around animation. So I decided to research the animator working conditions, which I went over past events like Disney Strike 1941 and recent events like the Mappa Studio mistreating their animators and them being unable to see their families due to this crunch time.
Now, my research focused on physical films and filmmakers in contrast to my wonderful co-host Imogen, who will be the animation expert. My expertise comes from what I've been doing last year, generally what I picked up, and what I've been doing for my GCSEs, so I did GCSE Arts. My focus on interest, my focus on like things like horror, and since I plan to do film studies to a more academic level, women in media and LGBT representation, as that's a honest academic field. It's really important. My favourite director right now is David Cronenberg, Canadian director from The Fly Scanners, stuff like that. I'm doing research on the French New Wave that came in from 1960s to 70s. Question research in greater detail, which is on my personal research PowerPoint, is what film has the most powerful message, what film's got the best story / plot, and what's the best media character and why. All of these are on my other PowerPoint. Hi.
So my question was based on who I think the best actor or actress was, and after doing research, in my opinion, I think it was Marilyn Monroe. It's because she became one of the world's biggest, enduring, iconic figures to have lived at the time, and still is hugely remembered and loved by many for both her winsome embodiment of the Hollywood sex symbol and her tragic personal and professional struggles with the film industry. She is such an icon that even after 60 years after her death, she is still the subject of many controversies as to her death and treatment in the industry.
In animation, it originated from Japan, since it's the homeland of anime and for Tokyo Paradise. Many would assume studios just came up with the ideas of the storyboard, screenplays, and art. Some might have, such as Kyoto Animation and Production IG. However, most of the animation are adaptations from mangas and novels created by manga artists and novelists. Manga like Hoshinoko here, you can see the difference between the manga cover and the anime. That sold 18 million copies by 2024 and have a 2-season animation adaptation coming out. But the most popular animation adaptation is Demon Slayer, which Japanese people call the Kimetsu no Yaiba. That sold over 150 million copies in circulation, including digital copies, making it one of the most best-selling manga series of all times. And manga is a comic in a Japanese version, which started from the late 19th century with a long history of Japan's earlier arts. Adapting the manga to anime is not easy, considering the style and storyboard will be different given the time frame of coordination between the artists. Manga artists have a pride in their work and can get sensitive if their work does not match to the image they poured into their work. Oshinoko focuses on Ai's twin, that what the purple girl's eye. It's the two blondes there, her secret children. One seeking revenge for her death, while the other is trying to fulfill her previous life's dream. However, in Demon Slayer, focus on the protagonists, the boy and the Chakayori. The journey as a Demon Slayer, finding a way to turn his surviving sister, the girl in pink, back into a human, all the while hiding the rage of decapitating the very man that causes all misery. You can see the difference in the arts between them. By looking at the images, you can clearly see the difference between the artwork in the covers of the manga and the anime. They have to consider the main characters of the story, the theme of it. As I said, Oshinoko focuses on drama and mystery, whereas the Demon Slayer is a dark fantasy, which have to draw in interest by the cover alone. Anime artists have their own struggles too.
Thanks for listening. Let's pitch.